The Han Solo season is now live, and you can play Heroes Showdown to your heart's content. Today we'll be going over the buff and nerfs that came out with the Han Solo season, and then we'll touch briefly on Heroes Showdown. All the gameplay will be of Heroes Showdown if I recorded enough this morning. Welcome back, and I would like to thank Poetic for joining me this morning in Heroes Showdown. There's been quite a few changes that came out with the Han Solo season that weren't in the initial announcement. There's been some buffs and nerfs to some of our favorite heroes. Some of them have been much needed, others not so much, but we are glad that they're here, so that way we can have a balanced game mode hopefully when we get into the new game mode, which is Heroes Showdown. So before we get into the buffs and the nerfs, just want to remind everybody, check out StarWarsGaming.net. It's a wonderful website and a great resource for this community. They'll keep you up to date with everything going on. And then roll over to their forums as well. There's a link down in the description so you can sign up on the Greenie Weenies master list, and that way you'll find a partner you can play Heroes Showdown with. Everyone on that list is super chill, and we're all just here to have fun. Let's get into some of the buffs and the nerfs. So the first one is for Leia. Leia's secondary fire has been nerfed. It has been decreased in damage from 175, I believe, down to 145. So it will no longer one-shot all trooper classes. It'll just one-shot the specialist, but no surprise there since the specialist gets one-shotted by pretty much everything in this game. The explosive damage has been reduced to 1 meter instead of 2, and you need to be a little bit more on target since her auto-aim angle has been dropped down to 2. Now that's not a huge drop, it was 3.5, but you may notice a little bit less auto-aiming going on, and you will no longer be able to one-shot people on Crate or on Starkiller, which is a great change and something that really needed to be done. Leia's secondary fire I've always thought was a little too strong, especially since it didn't require you to actually aim. So while you still don't have to aim at 100%, you do need to aim it a little bit more, which is always good. Keeping on with the nerfs, we have Palpatine. His health regeneration has been nerfed, so bunny hopping Palpies will no longer be invincible. His health regen has been decreased to 250, down from I think 350, and reduced the health regen of the lightning absorption card by 5 on each rarity. So it'll do 5 less healing per kill than it did before. It was too easy for Palpatine to stay alive, bunny hopping around using the lightning absorption card and then hitting large groups of troopers. He'd live forever. And also with that, his dual hand lightning auto aim has also been reduced from 14 degrees down to 10. So even with Palpy now, you'll actually have to be a little bit more on target and not just bunny hopping around looking straight. So that's good. Anything that adds some additional skill to this game is always a good thing, since really the skill gap here is rather low in Star Wars Battlefront 2. So anything to add a little bit more skill to the game is great, and anything to reduce auto aim is even better, since auto aim is one of the most annoying features I've ever found. But anyway, it's good that they're making some changes. I appreciate these changes and they're fantastic. And then we get into the buffs. So the main buff that everyone has said needed to happen since the start of the game, Luke's stamina has increased, so he is able to swing his lightsaber a little bit more and block even more shots without getting too tired to hold up his lightsaber. And his push damage, his abilities hopefully now work. His push damage has been increased to 150, so it will kill most troopers right away, including specialists. But of course, everything kills specialists. And then on heroes, his push will do 90 damage, which is an increase as well. So Luke all around did get a damage increase. Also for his repulse ability, and now does 130 baseline to troopers. So if you have the improved damage repulse star card, if they're like half the distance in or they're half the distance of repulse, it'll kill them basically, which is fantastic. And then to heroes, repulse also does 75 damage now, so that's good as well. Anything to buff Luke to increase his damage, because he did feel the weakest of all the lightsaber heroes. He's also able to move and do things faster after dashing, which is a great change. Another problem with Luke is he was fast and his dash was amazing. However, if you did a dash and you ended up just kind of stunned or unable to do anything for a few seconds afterwards, you could die quickly. So that's a good change, and we have Luke is now feels stronger. I did use him in Heroes Showdown earlier today, and he does feel really good. I was able to take down Boba Fett and Kylo Ren after my partner had died. So That is fantastic. I do like that a lot. For Phasma, her staff strikes are now supposed to be easier to hit. They do feel a little bit faster. I used her in the Heroes Showdown this morning, and it does feel like her staff strikes are a little bit quicker than they were. I need to go in and find my footage of comparing them when they changed them last time to see if the changes are actually there, if the change actually did make it faster. I'm not 100% on that, but it feels that way. So apparently the way you feel is fact now anyway, so we'll go with that. So with the staff strikes, it also decreased the damage on the first staff strike to 120. I don't know why they did it that way. The first staff strike no longer instant kills the majority of troopers, which I thought was weird. But anyway, that's a weird change. It removed the push effect of the second staff strike, which is great, since that's how people tended to get away from landing the third staff strike, which does the most amount of damage. So hopefully with those two changes, well, with making them faster and then making the push effect go away, hopefully you'll be able to land that third strike. I still don't know how I feel about that first strike damage decrease, but it is what it is at this point. The turret will also now auto repair instead of instantly repair itself if it doesn't take damage for a while. So Heroes Showdown. We've played a lot of Heroes Showdown this morning. Well, I played 4 matches, I guess, of Heroes Showdown. 2 light side, 2 dark side. It is so much fun. So it's a little more intense, and I do feel myself getting a little competitive with that game mode, but it's 2v2. If you win, you can't play those heroes again, which is great. I think originally I thought it was if you lose, you couldn't play them again, but that was wrong. So if you win, you can't play those heroes again. It's best to have a partner that has a mic or that you can talk with. I played with Poetic this morning. I greatly appreciate him playing with me. We weren't able to talk, so it did feel a little rough at times. One thing that's important to note in Heroes Showdown is you need to stick with your partner. If you go off on your own or if you get caught by yourself, you have pretty much just killed yourself if you run into both of the enemy heroes. So make sure you stick with your partner when you're playing it. Also, as much as I love to be super aggressive, in this game mode, it pays to be a little bit more cautious and defensive. You want to be more on the defense than on the attack in this game mode, since you want to control the engagement. So when you're running around, it only takes place on Jabba's palace right now, and more maps may be added in, they said, depending on feedback. And I really am going to be starting to tweet like crazy that this game mode is a ton of fun. It may actually become my favorite game mode right now, but with it, you need to be a little bit more defensive and you need to control your engagements. So you don't want to be rushing through a doorway or down a hallway to attack, especially if you have a ranged hero as your partner. So we always ran, well, Poetic tended to run lightsaber heroes. I ran ranged heroes to try to help out with that. If we got in a hallway or a staircase, and he went ahead of me, we lost that match. We lost that round. We only lost 1 total match altogether, but if you're fighting in the hallways or if you're fighting on the doorways and the staircases, it's very important to make sure you control those engagements and you do it safely. If you rush through a doorway, you're most likely the first person that goes in is going to die. So on controlling your engagements, you just want to have in mind what you have on your makeup and what they have on their makeup. A lot of times the enemy team we saw had 2 lightsaber heroes, which I thought was kind of decent move, being that it's in Jabba's palace and it's a lot of hallways and stairs. However, when they got stuck in the open, it was easy to pretty much just kite them if you were a ranged hero in order to take them down. So it's usually best, I found so far, to have 1 lightsaber, 1 ranged. And you kind of want to take a look at what their abilities are and what they have to offer. Like, you don't need to run Rey and Chewie because Rey has a stun style effect with her mind control, and Chewie has the grenade, the shock grenade. So you don't need a double stun, you only need 1 with a stun. The same can go for Lando has a stun if you're on the light side, and if you're on the dark side, it's really nice to run Iden with, Vader, because Vader's choke kind of puts him at a disadvantage, and he kind of has to stay still while he does that. So Iden can stun while Vader's able to just massacre people. So, just kind of want to take a look at what their abilities are. Make sure you see what your partner picks, especially if you don't have mics, and then react based off of what they're picking. If you do not pick a hero, it will auto pick for you. And then also take a look at your star cards. So on this one, You don't need star cards that are going to be like, if you kill 2 or 3, it increases your damage, or health back on kills. Probably not going to be great in this game mode because there's only 2 players you can kill. You kind of want to run cards that are more damage oriented, so you can deal the most amount of damage quickly, and not so much survivability oriented like you would in Galactic Assault. So make sure you take a look at your star cards before you get in and after you pick your hero. You do have plenty of time to pick your hero and make your adjustments, but this game mode, so much fun. I will be playing this quite a bit. I probably won't be playing it on streams because it is 2 versus 2 and we do want to have the majority of people playing together, but I'll probably be doing quite a few videos on this game mode because it is great. So be sure to look out for strategies and things like that coming out for Heroes Showdown. That's probably going to be a reoccurring theme. I'm going to aim for Mondays. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. If you liked this or enjoyed this video or just want to support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. It greatly helps. We'll be here on Monday, Wednesday, Friday with a new video, and streams on Tuesdays, Thursdays. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in game.